Okay, hello everyone. I want to welcome everybody to the channel. Rakeil DeBose 4711 RAKEIL DUBOISE. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate everyone subscribing. Today's topic is going to be about prostate cancer. What every man needs to know. It could save your life. Okay? I'm going to speak about my journey and how I come to find out that I had prostate cancer. Because we know that a lot of men don't know the symptom of having prostate cancer. And I didn't have no symptoms when I found out I had prostate cancer. Well, maybe I had the symptoms, but I didn't understand what the symptoms was. But I never felt like I was sick or anything like that. But now first I want to start that I I um I got diagnosed with cancer in 2022, September 14, 2022. But I already had it, I think, in 2021, or maybe before that, because being in the trucking industry, I got a CDL license. Every 2 years, you have to go and get a physical. So, and that time I'm living in Savannah, Georgia, and I had a trucking company, and I was managing the trucking companies, and I was basically in the logistic fields, but I could drive trucks and everything. So, I went and got this physical, and the doctor told me that because I did a urine test. That's how I did my physical. I did the urine, and he told me that I had blood in my urine, but you don't see no blood in no urine. You don't see it. So he told me I need to go see a urologist, cancer doctor, and I would have to do a biopsy, which I would have to drive to Atlanta. Now, keep in mind, from Savannah to Atlanta is 4 hours drive, 4 hours, and I'm like, I have to go down there and get tests. And being that you're gonna have to always go down, I would always have to drive down if that was the case. So I decided, I say it's 4 hours from Savannah to my to Atlanta, and it's about 5.5 hours from Miami, based on how you drive 6 hours from Savannah to Miami, Florida. So what I did, my whole family, I didn't have no family in Savannah, but the people them that brought me there, and I was very, very big on if something happened to me, what would be who would be there for me, and all that type of stuff. So what I did, I like, you know what? So one day, and this is how I found out I had this stuff. I woke up one morning with heartburn. Now heartburn is not a symptom that you have prostate cancer. I just woke up with a heartburn. I'm like, what the hell, every time. So I decided that even though I didn't eat anything, I just woke up and I had heartburn. It woke me up, and I said, man, let me go find out why I got this goddamn heartburn. And I drove around 1 minute, 2 minutes around the corner from my doctor, and then I'm like, hey, and they asked me what I said. I would like to do get find out I got heartburn. And most of the time you say high cholesterol. Comes to find out I did have high cholesterol. So he took all this blood from me, and I go, what are you doing? He took all this. I just came to check why I had my heartburn. And he said, well, he just sucking all these valves and taking blood. So about 3 weeks later to 4 weeks, but I think about 3 weeks, I got a call, and I was really waiting for that result. Because one thing about me, when I go to the doctor, and I need to know. I'm a need to know individual. Whether it's good or bad, I don't want to hit it. I want to know. I'll deal with the feelings later on. Because I learned that feelings will stop people from knowing what they need to know or how they're going to feel. So I went there, they called me and tell me to come in. I came in, and I went in his office, have a seat. And he showed me a chart. I said, what's that? He said, that's you. All this is you. He said, all this is good. He went down the line. But he said, this is something I want to talk to you about right here. I said, what's that? He said, yes, your PA cell level. Right? Your prostate specific antigen. I said, what is that? He said, well, it has to do with cancer. I said, I got cancer? He said, no, I'm not saying you have cancer, but your PSA level is rising. So I say, what is the normal average PSA level? He says 0 to 4. Well, yours is 7.5, which would consider moderate cancer. Moderate cancer is like a stage 2 cancer. I say, okay. So that's when he told me I have to go to Atlanta. I have to go see I have to go get a biopsy done and all that stuff. So once I found out that, he's like, I don't say you have cancer, because it can be your diet, it could be anything that's making it rise. I said, man, listen, man, that has cancer behind it. The word cancer. People say prostate cancer, this cancer, that cancer. It all boils down to, take the title off, the shit is cancer. That's just how I looked at it. And I said to him, I said, man, all this prostate, that, it's just cancer itself. We just titling and putting names in front of it. So I'm like, listen, man. So he said, you really need to go check up on that. So, but when the first doctor had told me that, with when I go get the CDL physical, I really didn't, I'm like, yo, ain't nothing wrong with me, because I wasn't feeling nothing, nothing wrong with me. And he said, look, this doctor say, make sure you go and find out. I need to go see this type of person. And it, about a year passed, you know what I mean? And that's when this happened. So, and then this doctor saying basically, but the symptoms the symptoms you have for prostate cancer is when you ejaculate and it burns, it hurts. When you pee and it burns, or when you pee and you still feel like you have to keep peeing, like not everything comes out, like you have to continue. Those are symptoms, right? And erectile dysfunction. Those are symptoms of prostate cancer. But I wasn't having these things. Only thing that, out of all these symptoms, when the doctor told me I had blood in my urine, but you couldn't see the blood, he said that. He said, you normally have to see it, but that was my symptom. So I didn't know I have it because I didn't see no blood. But just by going and getting the checkup for the high cholesterol, that was brought this to me. Brought my acknowledgement to, oh shit, that's what this means all that time. So, with that being said, when I found out I had to do all this, I just give up everything and just pack up and get everything, sold everything in the house, and just head to Miami. Because I wanted to be home if anything happened to me. I have family members that will take care of me and stuff like that. I don't have to depend on people that is not obligated to my health but me. So I came home. Then as soon as I reached home, I went down to Miami, University of Miami, the U, playing for the championship January 19th. Go U. So once I went down there, the doctor in Savannah sent a chart down to the university. They look at the chart. Boom, they set up a biopsy date for me for September the 14th. Boom. And once that was set up, because I left Savannah July of 22. And then I had my prostate, my biopsy done on September 14th. So when that day come, I went in there. They got to go inside of you from the back. They got to put some shit up inside of you and take 19 samples. So it's like a staple. You're going to pop, 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 19 times. So they did that. It took like 19 samples, and then they called me that same day, man, and told me out of the 19 samples, they took 7 came back with cancer. My whole heart dropped. I was like, are you kidding me? I start thinking about my kids, my grandkids, everybody. Yeah, I got grandkids. That time I was 52 years old. I'm 55 now. I'm making 56. So once that happened, I'm like, wow. And then my mother sat next to me and talked to me, and rejuvenate me, rejuvenate me right away. And after that, there's not a day after that I thought I had that. I woke up every morning. You see, like when you go to sleep and you have something on your mind and you wake up in the back on your mind, I never had that no more after that. Never. So, and what I learned having this stuff, you're gonna hear from 4 type of people. And you're gonna have to choose 2 to listen to. Because what people may say to you that what somebody else do, that has nothing to do with you. What works for them don't works for you. You get what I'm saying? That's why we all are individual people. We are individual people with our own situation. So you're gonna listen to family members who will tell you, listen, herbal this, herbal that, this, that. You know, family members, they tell you, people telling you, take the herbal, yo, I have a friend that does this and they cure on all this stuff. Then you're gonna always hear from the specialist who's telling you what gonna happen, how this can turn out if you don't do this and don't do that. And then you're gonna have you who have to make the decision, and then you have God. So you have to pick out of those two. Out of those four, I picked myself and I picked God. And once I did that, then when the doctor called me and told me, listen, I asked him, what is my alternative? What's the options? He said, you can do radiation or you can do surgery. Right? It's prostatomy surgery. It's like it's a robotic surgery that they go inside of you and remove your prostate. So I asked, what's the do's and don'ts, the cons and about it. So he told me, because my concern was really my nature, having sex. That's my concern. You know, and being that I have heavy, high sex drive, I don't want to lose that. So he told me, so my choice was thinking about sex or living. That was just basically my choice to me. If I didn't want my prostate to be removed, that would have been, I want to still try this pills or whatever and hope that this work and keep my nature. I'm like, hell with that, right? And I will deal with that after. So I said, okay. So he said, man, you too young. I think you're too young to do radiation and all of that. So I recommend that you do the surgery. I said, okay, right? I explained this to my mother and stuff, and I said, okay, I'll do that. Set the date and everything. The date was set. And you know what? I procrastinate for 6 months before I set the date, man. I keep trying to, avoid it. And finally, in 2023. Now, keep in mind, I went in September for the biopsy, and then I didn't even do the surgery that year, 22. I just like, man, and I did it in 23, like February. And I'm like, went into the surgery. And I was ready. I was excited. I wasn't worried. I wasn't concerned. Everybody in the hospital, they was very nice in the University of Miami. They couldn't believe my demeanor and how I was, I was ready to live it. So once I got that done, man, and I had an excellent surgery, very excellent surgery. They removed my prostate. Now, once they removed my prostate, you're gonna leak. So basically, it's like turning on a drain, a sink, just turning it on, and you got to learn how to control that. It's learning how to pee again. You have to learn how to do that. So after surgery, then you go back and see go back and see the doctors, and they tell you, listen, this is what you need to do. They say you got to learn how to do contraction. When you pee, you got to hold it 4 times. Pee, hold, pee, hold, pee, hold. You got to train that muscle again. So they give you sildenafil. It's a pill that a 10 milligram or 5 milligram will builds your blood up down there to get that blood flow going back again, so your nature can get back to normal. And you got to take it. So you have to do that for like a whole year, but you can still take it after a whole. So within a whole year, your leaking should subside very, very. The way in the point where you can control it. If you're driving and you're at a light, you just start contracting, contracting your muscle. But every time you pee, don't just like a man, don't pee, guys. Don't just pee, stop. Pee, stop. So once you keep doing that, you'll be surprised how strong your muscle get back. It get back really strong. And then you have control of it. At the beginning, you guys gonna have to wear Pampers and whatever it is that you have to do, because you're gonna be leaking. I didn't wear no Pampers. You know what I mean? I was dead set on just learning this stuff. But I had bought some little pad, some thing, in case. But I practice. Now I control that stuff, and then I take these pills. I do everything that they tell me I need to do, and then I work out a lot. So, but when I found out I had the cancer, I never lost weight. I was like 275. I never lost no weight. So knowing that I was going for surgery, I'll keep working out. I don't know. But after I get out of surgery, I still lose no weight. So after 6 weeks, I start working out. I went down to 247. Right? Feel good. They call me 3 months later to tell me I was cancer free. Hooray. You know what I mean? So I continued working out. So my whole perspective of life changed. Like, it just changed. Now when I work out a lot, and when I was working out now, that energy level changed. I would give you 1 hour full intensity, high intensity, And like when you keep going to the gym and you're lifting weights, you get stronger. I wasn't getting stronger. I was like, every day I go and work out, I have to start all over again. I'm a self-motivator. I motivate myself. I don't work out with anyone. Like right now, I go to the gym 5 o'clock in the morning, every day, 7 days a week. I go in an hour and a half, so come back. Every day. I get up in the morning, walk my bully. I got a bully, y'all see it. I walk her, put her in the cages, whatever. So once I find that out, it's just a whole different. Fellas, the reason I call this topic is what every man needs to know. It could save your life. Prostate cancer. You could just go in and see a doctor and say you want to get a PSA level test. I had moderate cancer. That's considered stage 2, 7.5. Now, once your PSA levels start going up, there's careful concern. Why is it moving? Why is it going this high? Why is it doing that and that? Not because if you change your diet and your prostate level go down, that means cancer is gone away. You know what I mean? That's just not how it works. Because you think it went down, well, I'm clear. No, that ain't how that shit works. You got to redo a biopsy to find out if it's not there. You know what I'm saying? But you have to pay attention to this. I had stage 2 cancer. Now, when I prolonged the surgery for the next 6 months, the doctor said 6 more months, my whole body would have been spread with cancer. So good thing I went in that time. I set the date. Finally, I'm like, man, I'm going to do this shit. I did it February 20. And I did it. And if I didn't do it, he said 6 months, it would have just spread. And that was like, wow. So try to recognize these things. If you burning when you pee, I'm not talking about having sex and then getting syphilis or whatever they call that crap, or gonorrhea. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just naturally burning, or when you ejaculate, it burns, it hurts. If you pee and it got blood in it, those are symptoms that you need to go see a doctor for. I don't care how it is. You better find out. At least if you're going to die, you're going to die. But just to don't know what's going on, when you can heal it and cure it and catch it is better. You know what I'm saying? That way, you can save your life. You know what I mean? You can help yourself. So once I do that, and the thing about this is, when I went and get surgery, it was just me alone. I didn't have no family, nobody there. I just tell them no. I just went and did it myself, and I had a successful surgery. And you're gonna have people that have been part of your life. It's gonna change your relationship with whoever you're with. If sex is one of the main objects to them, that's gonna be a problem. They're gonna feel different. They're gonna look at you different, because you can't do nothing for them sexual wise at that particular time. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to end up maybe losing that person, or if that person really care for you and love you, they're going to stick by you, and you go through the process of the medication, the sedative, taking those to build that muscle back up. That way you can get back normal. If they down with that with you, you got a good one. If they ain't down with that, and then they pushing themselves away from you, and you laying in the bed with them, and then you ain't touching them, that's just a sign. You know what I mean? It creates cheating. It creates all that stuff gonna happen, but you have to just focus on getting better. You know what I mean? And just move on and keep your faith in God. But this prostate thing here, man, is it's not it's not something good. I don't care how you look at it. It changed your whole life. You have a whole different perspective on life, and your PSA level is like it's your Gleason score. It's the 7.5. That's your Gleason score. To your different your stage and your moderate. I was moderate. I was 7.5. So I really procrastinate a little bit because they say procrastination is my enemy of good health, and I almost killed my own self, not even taking heed to that. So, gentlemen, if you feel that you wanna, if you don't even think, if you just feel like you want to get a checkup, when you go to get a checkup, you guys go get checkup and you'll say, no, when you go get a checkup, say, I want to check my PSA level. Make that be one of the blood tests that they take. That way you will know. This stuff don't run in my family at all. It doesn't. It doesn't run in my family. I just end up getting it. Like, how, where, whatever, I don't know. But thank God that I'm here today and it turned out the way it is. I'm a big supporter of people going through things like that, and I believe that nothing is good to you unless you give it away. It doesn't help you if you keep it. One hand washes the other, two hand washes your face. You know what I mean? So those are the things that I believe in, and giving people, letting people know. I'm not on here to sell you anything or do anything. I just need you to subscribe to my channel, because there's going to be a lot of information that I'm going to be given pertaining to your health and different other things. But today I'm talking about the prostate cancer. And then a lot of guys who my concern was my nature. And I really had to get that fixed. I had to. And I took these pills, I took pills, workout, pills. I'm back to normal. Even though I don't have my prostate has been removed. But they're going to introduce you to all kinds of stuff. Even a penile implant, they're going to introduce you to. That's something that I'm going to talk about. I'm trying to get the device so I can show you guys it, display it, so you can see what a penile implant means and what it is and how it works. They put it inside of you, and you can have sex for the rest of your life and never stop. Even though even though when you come, you still keep going. It never stop. You control the shit. It's like a pump, but it's something different. You finish with her, you could jump on, you could do 10 of them at the same time. It's a powerful thing. But anyway, gentlemen, if you feel that you're not feeling good about yourself or anything, and you get any you need to go to the doctor. You need to go get a PSA check, find out why this is happening. Like I said, I had heartburn. Heartburn had nothing to do with it, but I just had heartburn, and my cholesterol level was like 250, 300. And just by going and checking out about the heartburn, the test was runs on me, and then he just took that test, and comes to find out I had prostate cancer. That's just, even though I had the symptoms, but I never know what prostate symptoms are. But now, listening to everything that I went through, and thinking about the first doctor when I did the CDL test, told me this, and now I'm looking at it now, that was part of my symptoms, and I ignored it. So don't be scared. Don't listen to people, because not everybody's situation is the same. Yours is different. What works for someone don't mean it's gonna work for you. But I know the contraction is trying to work that muscle and make it get it back. Your muscle only remembering what it already know when you go work out. It already knows. You just got to make it remember. You see what I'm saying? So you just do the contraction to make the muscle remember what it already know to do. And it's very important that you do that. When you get that prostate and you're going to, and when you after that, you have to deviate yourself from processed food. Your food has to be cooked, real food. And I was a heavy pescatarian. I used to eat a lot of seafood. I didn't eat meat and chicken for 14, 15 years. And I just when after I went through this, the doctor telling me, yo, look, you gotta change it. Too much cholesterol, seafood. I love seafood, but I used to eat a lot of shrimp. So I stopped. I'll eat shrimp maybe once a week, but I barely eat it now. I'll eat salmon too, but I start back eating chicken after 15 something years. I I still don't eat beef and steak. I haven't even eaten that yet. But I had to, in order to get back to my pro thing, I had to do that. I had to kill my no eating chicken, you know, and go back to that and what the doctor said, look, this is what you need to do, and I have to follow that direction. Read the instruct. We have a tendency we don't read the instruct the direction and just forget about it, and that's what I did. I forget about things, and then it came back and haunt me. So I'm gonna be talking about a lot of stuff got to do with prostate cancer, my journey and stuff like that as we go, because my journey still continue to go, and I gotta. This is a way of life for me. You know what I mean? I gotta in 3 something months, 2.5 more months. I gotta go get my prostate. I gotta go get my PSA level checked. I gotta see if it's my PSA level is 0.2. That's my new normal. That's if it go start rising, that means my cancer come back. You know what I mean? It's, normal people is 4, 0 to 4. Okay, so those are the things I have to pay attention. I have to go and see a doctor every 6 months, and after the first year, I go once a year to always do my checkup and stuff like that to make sure I'm following my guidelines of to staying healthy. But I'm not sick. I'm very healthy. I'm good. I'm cancer free. I'm eating right. I'm doing the right thing. You know. So I just want to share this with people and whatever information that I get. Right now, I'm in medical school for administration, billing and coding. We're gonna discuss that about the insurance company billing you and how you look out for bills, the type of billing you get. So I'm in school. I'm graduating in May, and then I'm gonna be doing health service administrator. I'm gonna be going for my bachelor degree in that. Right now, I'm an undergraduate. So those are the things I'm doing, and I got into this because of this situation. I mean, when I was in the hospital, it's very intriguing to learn, see how these people deal, try to save lives, and that's just the thing I'm about, you know, helping people save lives. And then we're gonna discuss all kind of different stuff. So please subscribe to the channel, Rakeil Dubois, RAKEIL DUBOISE 4711. We're gonna always have something good to talk about. Trust and believe, and we're gonna talk about businesses, LLCs, government contracts, grants, all these good stuff. So please subscribe to the channel, and I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate everybody that showed the support, and this is just a channel where I call it let's just talk. Whatever you want to talk about is what we're gonna talk about. But our main focus is just educating each other about things that we don't know. Because if you don't want us to know anything, you put it in a book, because we don't like to read. You know. So let's keep it up and let's support each other and give yourself a good hand. God is good. Keep up the good work. I appreciate y'all. God bless. And who y'all bless, no man curse, right? Peace.